Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to show you guys my simple yet put together everyday makeup look. It's not a no makeup kind of look. It definitely has a lot of makeup, but it's done in a way that's looks simple, looks natural, and it's definitely focused more on the skin. So if you guys are interested, continue watching. If you're new here, welcome. I would love to have you here, so subscribe down below and let's put the makeup on. My face is all cleaned. I've done my skincare. I've even put my SPF moisturizer on and everything, so this skin is feeling nice and juicy. I do gravitate towards primers. I like them. I like the way foundation sits on top of them. I don't have a ton of primers, but I do like to mix and match. So today I'm going to use my Vanish Hourglass primer combined with the Danessa Myricks. This is a very glowy primer, and this is more of a pore filling primer, smoothing primer. So I'm going to start with the Danessa Myricks. I am going to put this one mainly on the outer area of my face and leave the T-zone for the Hourglass one. So this has a really pretty shimmer to it, and it's moisturizing. I love the way it works with foundations underneath. It has almost a stickiness to it. It's not too much though. I'm going to put a little bit right here. I think it gives a really pretty glow to the foundations, and I tried it with many foundations and it works with every single one of them. Now I'm taking a little bit of the Hourglass. I was thinking between this one and the Tom Ford one, but this is a little bit more multitasking. Even whatever foundation I choose, this will work. With the Tom Ford primer, it's very good at blurring and keeping you matte. So I tend to use that primer when I feel like I have a lot of pores and when I need a foundation to stay a little bit more matte. I am not loyal to one foundation. There's not that one foundation that I always gravitate towards. Mostly this year, there's been so many good foundations that I have a choice of like 10 that are absolutely amazing. But today I am gonna be out and about. I want a foundation that will stay in place and I don't want to be too glowy. So today I'm gonna pick up my Makeup Forever HD Skin Foundation. This is in 1N14. I really like this foundation. I know it's like a hit or miss for so many people, but for me, this foundation sits so beautiful on the skin, and I think the color will be fine. And I like how fast it is, and it stays so well. I use my fingers with this foundation. I like it best this way because I don't apply too much and I tend to spread the product quite a bit. The reason I've fallen in love with this foundation is because it really looks like my skin. You can't really tell that I'm wearing something or not. And because of that, I gravitate towards it because it gives me that skin-like foundation. It is not too matte, but it's definitely more in that satin matte. It's not glowy at all, which is why I used my Danessa Myricks like glowy primer. Because it gives a little bit of that glow. So I've been liking more matte foundations lately, but not full coverage. I don't like full coverage, but more of that matte satin finish, mostly that it's getting kind of hot outside. I struggle with my foundations just moving a little bit too much if they're too glowy. Still love a glowy foundation, but lately I've been really enjoying more of these satin finish, like the Makeup Forever that I've just used, the Dior Matte, the Givenchy one. These are all a little bit more on the satin finish, natural finish with slight matte in it. They're not full matte. They still have just skin-like. It just resembles skin-like. Now for concealer, I always color correct. So I'm gonna take my NARS color corrector. This is in the lightest shade, and I'll correct just a little bit right there. I used to never color correct. I never felt the need to do so, but lately it's been rough. I'm gonna take my favorite concealer. It's a concealer that is just good every day. This is the Makeup Forever HD. Oh, I didn't even realize I'm using both Makeup Forever and the powder. This was a coincidence. This is in the number 31. And I'm gonna apply a little bit here and here. So I was saying, I used to never color correct, but ever since having Luca, like something has just changed. I feel tired all the time. But you know, I've had so many friends that had 4 kids. They're like, you should stop at 3. It's kind of easy at 3, manageable. The second time that 4th one comes, it's so hard. And obviously we had a 4th one, and it's not that it's harder at home, like it's kind of the same thing. What's another one, you know? But it's the lack of sleep, I think, that gathers throughout the years. I think that's more that like it's affecting us. Although he sleeps through the night, the baby. He's been sleeping through the night since he was like 2 months old. Actually, all my kids slept through the night by 2 months old. We're kind of strict a little bit. But we get babies that sleep, so we can survive. I always powder my under eyes, and I'm gonna take this Makeup Forever, this is a Microfinishing loose powder, and I have the small one, and I'm so glad I got the small one because I almost never go through a powder because I have so many, but I want to try all these powders, and this has like half the size, and it's like much cheaper. I mean, obviously you're gonna pay more, but I don't mind that because, again, I very rarely go through a powder. I like this powder because it's so finely milled, and it's a very blurring, it's a really good one. It's not new, but it's new to me. I think I discovered it about a month ago, and I love it. Moving on to contour slash bronzer, I will take the Westman Atelier this is the contour in Biscuit, and I used to not really contour much, but ever since I have this one, it's just so easy, blends in so fast. It's just easy for me to put it on, and I don't feel like it's too much. Because the color is not too intense, I don't feel out of place contouring because it gives me just a little bit of it sculpts me just a little bit, and it blends so fast and easy. So I like doing this step. For example, I love this Vanity Makeup trio, like contouring. I have a couple of shades, and this is beautiful. It blends in real nice, but the fact that I have to get a brush and put it in here and then put it on makes me not want to contour like on a daily basis. So that's why I think the Westman Atelier stick is just so practical and easy. And oh, look at my tan. I slept without washing my hands the other day. It's been a few days and it's still like bad. Look at that. Anyway, but because this is so practical, I tend to do it more often. And then as a bronzer, I'm going to take my Kosas bronzer. This is in medium and it's kind of spring now, so I want to be a little bit just glowier. Even the foundation is more of that, again, satin matte finish, so I can go with just a little bit glowier bronzer. Now this is not too glowy, like you don't see any sparkles on the skin, but it has a beautiful finish to it that that's so beautiful, and I really like the color. It's a little bit more that burnt reddish undertone. I think the good thing about this bronzer is that you can build and build and build, and it's never really too much. At least this color on me, like, it looks intense, but using this brush, this is the Refer number 30, doesn't pick that much, and I can really build it up without doing too much. For blush, I almost always gravitate towards a cream blush. It's just what I like. And I really like this one from Rose Inc. This is Foxglove. It's one of my favorite colors from them. So I'm going to put this one on. I'm also going to take this a little bit in my crease just to kind of connect everything. I'm not going to do much on the eyes. So the bronzer, I put a little bit of that bronzer in my crease. That's kind of going to act like my shadow. What a pretty blush. For highlighter, the one I always use is this Westman Atelier Peau de Peche. I don't use an actual highlighter. I mean, this is a highlighter, but it's not super beaming. It just gives just such a beautiful glow, but I have the hardest time opening it. It makes me angry. Sometimes I'm like, why would they not make an easier way to open this? Because every time I struggle opening it because I have to dig my nail in there, and most of the time I have makeup already on my hands, so it's like slippery. Anyway, it's worth it because the product is that beautiful. So I always use that one pretty much every single day. I'm gonna add a little bit here. I like because it has a glow to it without it being a full-on highlighter. Look how pretty that is. It just has such a beautiful finish. You can tell that you have something there. You just don't know, is it the blush that's glowy? Is it the highlighter? Yeah, it meshes really well with blushes, like cream blushes. And yeah, I kind of put it all over the face, mostly because I'm using more of that more matte medium coverage foundation. I like to do my own glow after. That's pretty much for the skin. I am going to do my brows off camera real quick. I use my Gucci brow product pencil, and then a little bit of the Kosas brow gel. I'm very boring with my eyebrows. I naturally have decent brows, so I don't do anything special. So yeah, I'm gonna do that and come back and finish the eyes and the lips. For the eyes, I really don't do a ton. I mainly do a liner, a little bit of liner, or nothing. Like, so many times I'll just put a little bit of mascara right now and I am done. Because the skin looks so pretty. Many times I feel like if I add too much to the eyes, it's not day-to-day makeup. It's a little bit more. But adding just a little bit of a liner, a smudge liner, I think frames my eyes a little bit. So I am taking the Victoria Beckham, the color Cocoa. It's a pretty deep brown. Sometimes I take that's the color right there. Sometimes I also take the color, that red color, the burgundy color from them. It works really well with like darker eyes. But I like this brown because it's just there. It's not super noticeable. And I have more almondy eyes, so I am going to emphasize that. If you have more rounder eyes and that's a feature that you like, you can definitely emphasize that. Since I have more almond eyes, I'm gonna emphasize that feature of my eyes. So I'm not very precise with this one because I will always smudge it. I never just draw a harsh line. The first thing I do is I will, actually I'm gonna get a smaller mirror. There we go. I am going to draw one line from the lower lash line, and I'm not gonna raise my brows or look down or anything. I'm just gonna look straight. And I have hooded eyes. I know some people say you don't have hooded eyes, but if I look straight at you right now, there's barely any room on my lid. So I just fake it. So I look straight. I try not to raise my brows or like look down like this. I'm just going to draw a line towards my brow. That's it. And then without raising my brows or moving or looking down, I'm just going to look straight ahead. I am filling in a little bit of that. It can be messy, that is okay. So all I did right now is bring it in a little bit here and connect it. Even though when I look down, it's probably not perfect. It's okay, we will clean it up. And here, my lid goes down. So I have to go over that lid and fake a wing. Even though when I look straight, it's not gonna look perfect. And then I just smudge it. I can definitely do a more in-depth tutorial on how to do this, even with different types of eyes. I do bring it lower a little bit, but it's so easy. Even for hooded eyes, you can really do an easy look, and I think it makes quite a big difference. I don't want any harsh lines, so I will blend this out almost into nothing where there's just a wannabe line there. Kind of like that. You don't really see the line very defined here. It's a little bit more defined here, which you can blur that out if you want with a little bit of bronzer. I'll decide once I put my lashes on or my mascara on if I want that or not. So I'm gonna do the same to the other eye. So I brought it down here just a little bit, whatever was left on my smudger. I think these Victoria Beckham liners are the best out there. I haven't found any better liners. So yeah, right now they're kind of messy, not necessarily even. What I do, I put my mascara on next, and then I decide, do I want to take like a brown color to smudge it out? Do I want to add a little bit more? Do I want to clean the edges just a little bit? Everybody has different eyes, so the way you do one eye, you may not do the other because they won't match. And it's okay. It's just makeup. It's fine. So if you mess up the line a little bit, it's so easy to fix. I feel like this one may be a little bit longer, but once I put my mascara on, I can really tell how it looks with a mascara, and then I can do adjustments. I'm gonna put mascara on right now. I am using this new ESUM mascara. This is a more lengthening and very separating mascara, and I really like it. It is not a ton of volume. It gets okay volume, but if you're looking for extreme volume, this is not necessarily it. But for a makeup like kind of what I'm doing right now, I think this would be really pretty. I don't have a lot of shadow. I don't have any of that. So just pretty clean lashes I think will work really well. I'm gonna do this off camera because I'm literally like this when I do my lashes and it's a pain to do it. I will spray my face though. Before I do my lashes, I will always spray my face. I use this Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless. I love using these. I do think that this one helps longevity, but it also helps everything mesh in together. Okay, I'm gonna do my mascara and I'll be right back. So I put that mascara on top and bottom. I haven't used it on my bottom lashes yet and I'm slightly scared that it's gonna go everywhere. But so far it's doing well. I wore this 4 times now and I've never had a smudging problem, so I'm hoping this will work on my lower lashes. So what I did on the eyes, I did nothing with the liner, so this is how it looks with mascara, but I did put a little bit of my Tarte Fake Awake liner in here in my inner waterline and lower waterline, and I also dragged it. This is a trick that's really good. You can drag it under here and a little bit here on the lash line. It will brighten up that area and it brings a lot more brightness there, or it makes you look a little bit more awake and a little bit more. It's a detail that like people wouldn't know what you've done, but it really pulls the eye look together. So that's what I did on my eyes. That's it. Now what I'm going to do is take my powder. Oh, it's here. And I'm going to clean that outer edge a little bit right here. I like the pointy, a little bit more dramatic look, but I will take this and just clean a little bit in case I feel like, oh, it's a little bit too out there. I go over with just my powder. And I think that just tones it down without taking away from the liner. And that is all for the eyes. I'm going to take this Essence highlighter. It's broken, but I have it and I really like it. It's not a very intense highlighter. It's actually extremely soft. And I will put this in my inner corner. I don't like a super bright inner corner. I want a very soft that just opens my eye a little bit like that. Even this, I think it's a little bit much, but outside it's not really that noticeable. And taking the same thing and bring it just a little bit of light there and just a little bit of light there. And I kind of clean it with my fingers to make sure that it's just nice and blended. And last thing is lips. I have my liner here. I will always use a lip liner. Even if I don't really have much makeup on, maybe I just have a little bit of concealer, my brows, I will get a lip liner that's very similar to my lips because I don't really have much color to my lips. And I feel like a lip liner really just makes my lips come to life. So this is the Victoria Beckham 02 and I will line my lips. Now sometimes I will just use a lip liner and a lip gloss on top because I love the lip liner color so much. You can easily do that. But this is one thing that I change quite often. I literally have my little bag here that I take with me and I put a bunch of lip products in there, maybe like reds or browns or whatever. Today I'm going to use this Makeup by Mario. This is the pinky brown lip cream. I've been really liking this because it lasts a long time and I really like this color. So I'm going to use this. I feel like this one works so well with that liner. I think they match really well. And then if I feel like the liners are a little too strong, I'll just go over it with my finger to pick some of that up. I like that color. Sometimes I go with a lip gloss on top. This is the Westman Atelier lip gloss in the color Nunu, and it's so pretty, but I kind of don't want a lip gloss right now. And that is it. That is my simple kind of everyday makeup. You can take the liner off and honestly it looks even simpler. It's still put together. It does not take me long to do this makeup. It will take me 10 minutes to do everything. Obviously on camera I'm showing you, I'm kind of talking and sharing some tips and tricks, so obviously it's going to take longer, but just in person, if I'm just in my bathroom just doing this real quick, it takes me like again 10 minutes, which is very little for me because I could take an hour getting ready. So that is all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really was relaxed and had fun, and hopefully you can take some tips and tricks that you learned and apply them to your makeup. I think when you look at your own makeup, it's important to look at your features and see what you have and what you want to emphasize and work on those, because what works for me may not work for you. So I think keeping that in mind, maybe taking certain tricks that I showed you will be helpful. And I'd love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. I love chit-chatting with you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.